I'm about to do something very scary. It's something that I've known that I've wanted to do for a long time, for a couple of years now, and I have made excuses for why it's not the right time. I've pushed it off, prioritized other things, and all the pieces have finally come together, and I've just gotten myself to the place where it makes sense for my life, for me and my life to do it right now. And that is that I'm moving to LA. I currently live in Utah, and I'm moving to LA to continue pursuing my career in film. Um, that probably won't come as the biggest surprise to you all, but I do know that this channel has primarily been just focused on ADHD. But in making this move, in this pursuit to really put myself first and chase my dreams, I've noticed that there's been a lot of things that have come up inside of me, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of reactions from other people when I tell them that I'm doing this at 27 years old, um, that have uh, brought a lot of familiar feelings to how I felt growing up, of this feeling of not being able to trust myself and a lot of the things that ADHD brought with it. So that's something I wanted to talk a little bit about, was this idea of moving forward and learning how to trust your intuition despite if other people think this is a good idea or not. Um, I was always taught growing up to trust, to find somebody that is 5 to 10 years ahead of you, and to follow them, and to follow their exact footsteps, copy the patterns that they did that made them successful and that got to them to where they're at. And although I think that's really great advice and it's something that I have done, and I am where I am at in my career because of a lot of really great mentors and people who gave me a chance, and people that I've studied and try to become a better filmmaker because of it. Um, but then there comes a certain point that when you've done that, that if you continue following in your mentor's footsteps or your hero's footsteps, that you'll either have an identical life to what they have, or you'll live a life that's not your own. Either way, you're going to live a life that's not fully your own. And the next part of advice is something that people don't often share, which is doing what you feel like is right, regardless of what your mentors would tell you in this situation as well. Because the only way that you're going to become who you want to become is if you start making the decisions that are unique to you. If you're always following in the steps, if you're always following in the footsteps of the things that are laid out for you, um, then at a certain point, you're going to be making decisions that don't fully feel authentic to who you are. And that's something that I've been relearning as I've been making this step in my life, of quitting my job, my full time job, into going back out into the freelancing world to make more time to pursue my artistry, pursue filmmaking, going out there to make movies, um, and and that's something that I feel like is not always encouraged, and especially with ADHD is so linked to anxiety. And I think there's this mode, at least for myself and the people that I've met who also grew up with ADHD, there's this feeling of you're trying to mold yourself like everybody else. And there's this feeling that you can't fully trust who you are, that there's something fundamentally wrong with who you are. And so it takes a while into becoming an adult for you to try and rewire your brain to trust yourself again. Um, and for me, it's been a really scary, vulnerable thing. Even coming on here to make this video is fairly uncomfortable for me to talk about, because I've gotten more pushback on this next thing that I'm doing in my life than anything I've done, it seems, in the last 5 years. And yet, there's this other part of me that's not attached to anxiety and that's not attached to these other things, and that's actually has an incredible amount of peace with this next chapter of my life that I'm stepping into. That, of course, there's 100 million reasons why this isn't the choice for so many other people, but there's something about me making this choice for myself that feels completely aligned with me, and I feel completely like I am listening to my intuition. And that piece of it is the reason I feel like it's kept me moving forward and everything. Um, and so yeah, so I honestly don't have more of a reason in making this video rather than this is something that's been going on inside of me. And I wanted some way to share that, some way to get it out for people who are similar to me that find themselves in a serious point and just need a little bit extra encouragement and a reason to believe in yourself. Because it's okay if you are the only one that is okay with making the decision that you're about to make. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to not take the advice of others. Sometimes I at least personally feel like I feel obligated to take people's advice, people especially that really care about me and who wish the best for me and only want success and happiness for me. Um, but you have to be willing to listen to yourself and your intuition above everyone else. Um, and you'll find that a new part of you that's been inside of you the whole time um, will start to emerge and it'll start to feel familiar and it'll start to feel comfortable again. Um, so that's the next stage of my life. I have, for context, have made 2 short films over this last year. One of which has been done for a minute and has already had its festival run. It's called The Vacuum Salesman, and I'm going to be posting that on this channel uh, later this month. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then the next short film is called Get Ready With Me, and that one is premiering in Kanab, Utah. This upcoming week, we're traveling down there for the premiere of it, and I'm really stoked about it. So yeah, so although I'll still be continuing to talk about ADHD, film is really my passion, and obviously still this mindset, still sharing my own thoughts, my own journey will be very much a part of this. Um, but I hope this was helpful, and I hope you guys follow along. Appreciate it.